guys, it's Jacqueline and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4, and today I am building a tiny hut in Sulani. It is in a largish rainforest. So basically the idea for this that I had was that I just wanted to make like a little tiny home, a little hut. Fairly simple in shape, but I really wanted to work a lot with the terrain tools and all of the like landscaping around Sulani, because this is actually my first build in Sulani, which is like wow, because Island Living has been out for I think like a month and a half or something like that at this point. So yeah, that's kind of disastrous of me, but I was putting off building here for so long because I just felt really uncomfortable with the building style. I didn't want to do it badly, and I saw so many awesome builds and I was like, I just felt like mine would be inferior to it. But that's why I thought that it would be a good idea to start or do my first build with like a simple shape for the house. But I felt relatively capable in my landscaping abilities here. So yeah, I think this turned out really cute actually. Also, it was something my sister wanted me to build, so she's where the original inspiration came from, but she just wanted a tiny hut. She didn't really say where, but I thought Sulani would be a good place to do it. So that is what we are doing in today's video. But anyway, you can see here the hut is pretty much just like a little octagon, and I think it's three walls and then 2 walls for the diagonal walls in length. And I actually do end up expanding it, but I do that off camera because when I'm playtesting a ton of things didn't work. And actually there's a lot of, if you were to download this off the gallery, there would be several things that are just a tiny bit different. Just because when I was playtesting this, I ran into a lot of issues, and I'm not exactly sure why, but I was just having a lot of problems, and I didn't playtest anything on camera, obviously, so when I was doing the edits to try to fix everything, it's not on camera, and I also took the screenshots before I playtested, which probably wasn't a very good idea of me, but yeah, hopefully you don't mind that too much. It's really just like tiny things like clutters in a different spot or whatever, but yeah, so that's that. But anyway, right here, we're just working on, first of all, the little area surrounding the hut. So I wanted to have like rocks surrounding it and kind of like make it into a mountain type thing. So yeah, and this is actually inspired by one of the debug rocks. By the way, a lot of these items that I'm using are from the new debug update, which is you can access all these items using the cheat, first of all, bb.showhiddenobjects and then bb.showliveeditobjects. Which just gives you access to a lot of the objects that have been made available in the world menu, which is really, really exciting. Or not in the world menu, but like what they use to make the world, the Maxis people, the Maxis people. But yeah, that's really exciting. But anyway, I was using a lot of those objects, but the particular enclosure for the hut was inspired by one of the rocks that came with Island Living in this new cheat, and it's basically like this huge rock formation, and then in the middle of it, it's all been worn down, and it kind of slopes into this area where it's just like plain old terrain, and you can build on that. I'm not really sure where that was in the actual world of Sulani, but it's really cool. So I kind of wanted to use that, but like functionally, you wouldn't have been able to get your sim into this enclosure, so I just decided to make my own, and I tried my best. Also, you should note that I'm not very experienced with terrain tools, so yeah, if this doesn't look too good, then that's why, but I am trying my best here. Yeah, please just give me the benefit of the doubt on this one. I promise that usually I kind of know what I'm doing more, but this is, like I said, my first build in Sulani. So yeah, a bit of an experiment, I suppose. But anyway, I do end up also, I just want to mention this in case I forget later, which I probably won't, but I end up later on putting a waterfall into this build, and that is based on the tutorial I saw by Jess Hartz, who is a YouTuber here on YouTube. Wow, that was redundant. But yeah, so she does YouTube, and I think that was her first tutorial. But yeah, that was really helpful. She's also an amazing builder, so I highly recommend that you go check out her channel. But that video in particular, I had watched it at some point in the past, and then I was like trying to recall what it said when I was making the waterfall. So hers turns out like a lot better than mine, but I still think it's a pretty nifty tips and trick type video, so yeah, that's that. But anyway, right here I am making an outhouse, which is like an interesting thing because it's really open to the elements. Like, as you can probably see, there's like the slatted door, and then the windows are actually open, like there's no glass windows. So I thought that was cool. It kind of gave me like, you know, tropical Polynesian vibes. So I thought that was a nice thing to do, and I was actually considering making this house an off-the-grid house, but I've heard that that is a really glitchy lot trait right now, and I was not really wanting to, you know, have to deal with that, and also I don't really know that much about it, like what items function and what items don't. So yeah, I just decided to have some fun with this one instead of trying to do anything restrictive or different than what I would usually do. I mean, this is different, but you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I did just cut here, by the way, to I pretty much skipped the process of the bottom pool for this waterfall, and I move it around a little bit more later, fix it somewhat, but basically the process, I won't explain it in too much detail because you could just go and watch Dus's tutorial video, but essentially you use the waterfall item, which is in the debug menu that I was mentioning before, that comes with Island Living, and then you make two pools using terrain tools. You put them on different foundation levels, and then you surround them with rocks, and you can use these rocks that come with Island Living. And yeah, so then you just have to do a lot of move objects to get the rocks where you want. Then there's all these cool decorations and things you can use for it also. But I just thought this looked so cool, and there was this big empty space out here that I didn't know what to do with. And like I said, the theme of this build was like, you know, little hut in the big rainforest, so I just wanted it to look really like tropical and natural, because this was actually the best lot I could think of for it, because it has grass rather than sand, whereas most of the other ones are plain sand all the way through the lot. But it doesn't have like a ton of rainforesty type stuff surrounding it, so I just wanted to, you know, make as much rainforest as I could by myself, if that makes any sense. But yeah, also I had a ton of fun landscaping in Sulani. I've never done that before, but anyway, so right here I am just raising up more plants to go on this waterfall, and now we've moved on to the inside. So like I said, it is pretty small, but I don't have to fit a bathroom in here, so I actually end up having a lot of space, but I don't imagine that the sim would really entertain much, if that makes sense. Like I kind of think of them as the type that's just really into nature and like being by themselves and stuff, and like they have friends and they could still hang out with people and stuff, but it's just not on their list of priorities. Like they're very at peace and they like to be with themselves. So I thought that was a good idea, because I don't know, I never really picture people that, you know, like to have a lot of friends over living in tiny houses. It just doesn't make sense to me, because yeah, it just doesn't compute. I mean, size-wise, you can't have a ton of people living in a tiny house, but, you know, it's whatever, it's fine. And then I do put in a little dining table there. This does not end up being shifted around during my playtesting, but I can't figure out if it was an issue or not. I don't know, the thing is, the entire kitchen was pretty much dysfunctional, but I kind of fixed it. I hope it fixed itself, because I'm not really sure what the problem was in the first place. Like, I moved everything around, I deleted so many objects, and I put them back and tried to figure out, you know, what was going on. But I really couldn't, and I also had to change up something that I do a little later on. I'll point it out when I do. But yeah, I think I posted about it on Twitter, but nobody responded to me, so there's that. But yeah, I'm not sure what the issue was with that, but it's in the past now, so it's not a big deal. But anyway, right here I just put this little TV on the little end table that came with Island Living, and then also I used the wicker furniture because I just love the wicker furniture. It's so beautiful. It is so pretty. Also, I should probably mention that the main packs that are used in this build are going to be Jungle Adventure and Island Living. Of course, Island Living. But Jungle Adventure is also fairly important. But it's not too important. I mean, it's in the kitchen appliances, and then I also use like the mirror and a few other things, but you should be able to survive without it, really. I would say the only really important pack is Island Living. So yeah, hopefully you can download this if you have that pack, and it should be fine. I don't know how many people actually like download builds when they watch the speed build. Personally, I don't that often, just because I don't know. I mean, I don't really do gameplay that much in The Sims 4. I mostly just build. But if you do gameplay, maybe you download more of the houses. But it's not like when I'm looking for a speed build to watch, I go hunting for a house that I'd like to download. I just look at, like, I watch the speed build because I want to see it come together, because I find that really interesting, because I'm a builder, you know? But maybe some people do. I really don't know. But either way, how are you guys doing? I'm doing pretty well. Full disclosure here, I've been putting off this voiceover for a very long time. I've been sitting on this build for like 2 or 3 days, which is I mean, probably common for some people, but for me, I don't really do that because I just, like, I build something and I just want to share it, so I try to get the voiceover done and editing everything, because I build and then I could just smash out the editing, like, really fast. But voiceovers, I feel like, are a little bit more circumstantial. And I just really was not feeling like a voiceover, and also, this voiceover was a little bit intimidating because I got some new people here from my last video, which was, if you missed it, it was the base game 10-minute dump challenge. But the voiceover was like this whole motivational speaker thing that I went on a rant about school at the end. But like I don't know, I was just like talking really inspiringly, I guess, or I don't know if that's the right word for it, but if you saw the video, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so I feel like that was a voiceover that's kind of out of the norm for, it's not something I usually do. And also, I feel like I talked pretty well in that video, if that makes any sense, because I don't really regard myself as a very good voiceover doer. But so this one was like, oh no, they're gonna like leave my channel if they see this one and they realize that I don't usually do good voiceovers. So yeah, hey guys, how you doing? But also thanks for the support on that video. That means a lot to me, actually. It really does. So yeah, but anyway, what else can I talk about? I really don't know. Let's see. We moved on to the bedroom here. As you can see, I used the bed for my own living as well as the dresser, and yeah, that's really pretty much it to say about the bedroom. I did, for this entire build, like the interior of this entire build, overall did go for like a kind of peachish and blue / mint color scheme, because I just think that's really pretty, but I don't do it too often because I feel like there's sort of some specifics that need to be in place for it to actually, you know, fit into its surroundings. So that is what I ended up going with, and yeah, I'm pretty pleased with it in this one. But anyway, right here, we're just going to clutter up the kitchen a little bit, and yeah, so I just do put a few things there, and also I was kind of skipping the kitchen this entire time because I wanted to get a sink in, but I wanted to have an open counter. When I ended up playtesting it, the open counter didn't work, but the corner counter did work, so I had to move all the clutter on the corner counter over to the open counter, and I really don't know why that one wasn't working. But it's not really any of your concern as long as it works if you download this. But then I ended up using the sink that's from Laundry Day. I do use both of the sinks from Laundry Day. The other one is in the outhouse, so I guess that's a kind of important pack, but it's not that hard to, you know, replace the sink. And also there is a nice one that came with Island Living that you could use, of course. But yeah, so right here, I do this thing that I saw on a tutorial by Simarchy, and I ended up deleting this in the playtesting because I thought it might be an issue, and then I didn't put it back because I really wasn't sure. But basically you put a dishwasher into the counter unit and then you size it down, because the counter unit will remain, like the bottom part of it will remain empty, but you'll still have the top, so it'll kind of be like a shelf type thing, and you can put something under it, which I think is just the coolest. It looks so epic. So I did that, and I put a little treasure chest down there. I don't know why, it just felt like a good idea at the time, but yeah, I did delete that. And then right here, we're working on the outhouse, so yeah, there's some themed furniture in here, I guess. I used the shower for my own living, but nothing else for my own living in here, really. I mean, obviously the like walls and the actual building components are, but the furniture is not. But I do use the other sink from Laundry Day, like I said, and then I also use that tub, the bathtub, that I have never seen before. I don't know, I guess it's in debug, but it's base game. I think it's one of the ones that your sim builds, I guess, but yeah, I thought that looked really cool, so I ended up using that in there, and then I just put some cut around in there. But yeah, while I was talking, we moved on to this little area to do laundry out here, because that was something I knew I wanted to have in this build from the beginning. One, because there's this new clothes drying line that came with the debug update from Island Living, and I just thought that those were just the most adorable things ever, but I didn't want to just have that sitting out there without actual stuff being, you know, dried. So I did put out the actual functional items from Laundry Day, but you really don't need those because, like I said, if you have Island Living, you'll have the drying rack, but it just won't be functional, obviously. But then that is pretty much the extent of the exterior of the build, and also pretty much the extent of the interior of the build. So after this, I'm pretty sure we just do a little bit more landscaping, and right here I was adding a little hobby area. a little art easel. I also have an easel inside because I just thought my sim would, or the sim that I picture living here would probably be into art. I don't know, it just seems like one of those nature type of things. So I liked that idea, and then right here, one last thing that I do want to mention is that I used this palm tree that came with the debug update unlock thingy, and it has these cute little fairy lights all over it. You can't see it anymore, but if you did see it, it has these fairy lights, and I think they're just the most adorable things ever. I really like them a lot. But anyway, we are actually coming to the end of the build here once I finish up with this terrain paint. So thank you so much for watching this. It means a ton to me. And if you like this video, you can like and comment on it to let me know, and you can also subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my videos, and you can click the bell for notifications so that you get notified every single time I upload a video. And of course, if you like this build, it will be up on the gallery as soon as I remember to put it up, so you can download it there, and my origin ID is Thatsjaylin. And that's it, bye!